Okay, so as in the last video we have discussed about the alpha particle scattering experiment, in which we got to know that 99.9% alpha rays were passed straight, right, with no deflection, as you can see here in this picture, and some or few rays were deflected by a very small angle. As you can see these rays, right, they were deflected by a very small angle. This is also deflected by small angle, right? And there was a number like very few, 1 in 20,000 reflects back. 1 in 20,000 reflects back, right? So here it is. So what was the conclusion of his atomic model? Let's discuss that today. We are going to discuss the conclusion of alpha particle scattering experiment, right? So the first conclusion he gave was, the first conclusion or the first point of his conclusion theory was, the most part of an atom is empty, or you can say it is hollow. The most part of an atom is empty or it is hollow. As you can see here, like these rays are going straight, means there is not anything, means most part of an atom is empty, it is hollow, right? So the second point of his conclusion was that the positive charge resides in a very small space, and that space he termed as nucleus. Let me highlight nucleus, right? He termed as nucleus, and means his atomic model was also known as nuclear model, right? So let me write this from here. His model is also known as nuclear model because he has discovered the nucleus, right? He has discovered the nucleus. The third point of his theory was, let me write this here. The third point of his theory was that the positive, the positive charge is very heavy. Or there is something very heavy in the nucleus, right? So as you can see, like when the particles were going, right, as I told you, 1 in 20,000, very few means 1 in 20,000 reflect back. Why did it reflect back? Since there was something very heavy in the nucleus, because of that it got reflect back. That's why we said that the positive charge is very heavy. There is something very heavy in the nucleus, right? The fourth point he said was, let me write here 4. He said that the atom is electrically neutral. This is the same point as J.J. Thomson said, electrically neutral, which means there are equal number of protons as well as electrons, right? So there were equal number of protons as well as protons, right? protons and electron number was equal. Wait, let me. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so the fifth part or the fifth point of his theory was the fifth point of his theory was the size of nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom, right? Let me highlight this. Atom is the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom. Now let me tell you what's the size of atom and what's the size of nucleus, right? The size of nucleus is the size of atom is 10 power minus 10, right? 10 power minus 10 meter. However, the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom, right? And its size is approximately 10 power minus 15. Means the size of nucleus is very small, 1 lakh times smaller than the size of atom. So the size, wait, let me write this here, that the size of, wait, let me change the color of this. The size of nucleus is 1 lakh times 1 lakh times smaller than the size of the size of atom, right? So the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of an atom, right? So now we are going with the sixth point of his theory, right? Let's go with the sixth point of his theory. Point number 6. Okay, so point number 6, he said the electrons revolve in the circular path, right? The electrons revolve in the circular path. Now why did he say this, that the electrons move in the circular path? He must have said that the electrons are outside of the nucleus, or these are present on the outer part of an atom. Why did he said these are revolving? Since we know that if I'm making a positive charge here, I have a positive charge here which is basically representing nucleus, right? Nucleus, and I have here a negative charge, right? Electron. This is basically nucleus. Now we know that positive charge, there would be an electrostatic force between these two charges. There would be electrostatic force, right? There would be electrostatic force. Let me write that. Electrostatic force. So there was an electrostatic force between these two charges. Now if there is an electrostatic force, we know that proton mass is a bit more than the mass of the electron. Then the proton must have got or attract this electron towards it, right? If electron is coming to the nucleus, for example this is electron and this is proton, or this is positive charge means nucleus. If this will gonna go to this atom will be destroyed, right? The atom will gonna be destroyed. That's why this electron is using this electrostatic force as the centripetal force, and we know that centripetal force is used to revolve something. As I can say, this model of an atom is same as the solar system, right? So he also said this, this is same as this, wait, this is same as solar system model, right? Solar system model. We know that here we have earth, here we have our earth, right? This is earth, this is earth, right? This is earth. Let me mention this here. This is earth, and here we have sun, right? Here we have sun, here we have sun. Let me highlight this too. Here I have sun. We know that sun attracts the earth to with its gravitational force, right? There is a gravitational force between these. Gravitational force. Now, if there is a gravitational force between sun and earth, earth must have attracted towards the sun. But no, it isn't possible, right? Otherwise, the earth would have destroyed. But no, it is not at all like this. Earth is using this gravitational force as centripetal force. This force, gravitational force, has been used as centripetal force. Used as centripetal force. Petal force. Which means I can write here that Gf, which is the gravitational force, is equal to the centripetal force, right? Because gravitational force is being converted into centripetal force, thus the earth revolves around the sun, and here this electrostatic force is converted into centripetal force. That's why the electron revolves around the nucleus. So this electrostatic force is converted into Fc, and here I can tell you guys its equation as well. This is like Ze square upon 4 pi m 4 pi epsilon naught r square, right, is equal to centripetal force is equal to mv square by r, right? So this was all about the Rutherford atomic model's conclusion. In the next video, we're gonna study the defects of Rutherford atomic model. Why did it get failed, right?